I just finished the review and tune-up video about this knife, Benchmade 534 BK Bugout VAPYR. This knife has more in common with Benchmade Narrows than the traditional Bugout. And so I'm arming myself with this multi-bit driver set, which I'm going to use to disassemble the knife. I will talk about what is inside. And so even if you're not planning to maintain a knife or even purchase one, it's worth watching because this marks a new direction in Benchmade as a manufacturing company. Very easy disassembly. I simply removed the pivot hardware using T10 driver bit and popped the blade and the washers out. I recommend disengaging the torsion spring at this point by pulling back on the crossbar and quickly releasing it. And this way the spring is disengaged and not under compression. To remove assembly hardware, I need to switch to T6, and I am going to unscrew the handle from the show side, which is opposite to where the clip is mounted as it comes from the factory, from the right-handed clip mount. There are 3 screws to remove. One is a stop pin retainer and 2 go through the back spacer. And then the cover just comes right off if the spring is not under tension. At this point, I'd like to focus your attention on how the crossbar orientated. Yes, there is a way to install it incorrectly during reassembly process. Notice how there's this Pokemon shape cut out there. It has to be pointing toward the back of the handle, while the taper on the thumb engagement surfaces is tapered down toward the front. You will also see the flat surface where the spring engages the crossbar. It has to be visible to you when you're looking from the spine of the handle. The spring has a long leg and a short leg, and the handles are milled accordingly, so it's really hard to mess it up. So you drop it in and then just take the other half of the handle and slide it over the crossbar. It is possible that the spring pin is misaligned with the recess in the handle, so I just push it using a driver bit and it clicks in place. As you can see, the spring tongue is protruding outward, and at this point I am not messing with it. I'm just putting the stop pin screw in so it holds everything together. I can also install the other 2 screws. Notice how I am not torquing them to the final torque. Those are T6, so the final torque would have been 8 to 12 inch-pounds, which is very, very light torque. If you have any difficulties at all following these instructions, please let me know in the comments. I'll answer any question you may have. Otherwise, hit the like button. As a responsible YouTuber, I always appreciate feedback. The spring has to be engaged with the crossbar before you reinstall the blade. Press crossbar all the way forward and then press down on the spring's tongue with the driver bit. It will click past the engagement surface, and it will stay engaged through the rest of the assembly without any effort on your part. But if you pull the crossbar all the way back, it will disengage again. And if you did not install the blade yet, it will be very easy to get it back in. If the blade is already in place and that happens, you have to remove the blade and start a couple of steps back. I have to tell you, after fiddling for years with Omega springs, I find this process extremely easy. You can still manipulate the crossbar, just don't pull it all the way toward the pommel of the handle. This next step is completely optional. I'm using this WorkSharp foldable field sharpener that I carry every day to polish up the washers. The washers can become patinaed after the knife sits on the shelf for a few months. Priced at $375, it probably will sit for a while. And so I run the washer lightly on a 400 grit side and then switch to the ceramic side, giving it a few circular motions just to break the patina or any burrs that could be at the edge. As you can see, it's pretty well burred. It scraped the leather. The leather didn't come with this unit. I actually have a video on how I modified it to add this stropping leather so that I have a complete system in my pocket. And after I did the second washer, I'm going back to reassembly with the show side up. I place the washer on top of the blade. It should fit loosely into the handle. and I use the driver bit to line the washer to the hole. You don't have to actually match the hole perfectly. It somehow works out. The way they designed the pivot pin is a step forward, step definitely in the right direction, and I'll show you in a second. This 4mm driver bit fits nicely through the hole and lines everything up. And then I grab the pivot stem, and as you can see, it has flats on both sides. That's a simple design improvement, but it goes a long way in lining the pin, and it drops in very, very easily. A lot less fiddling than doing it on a traditional single-sided pivot stem. Once it's flush with the handle surface, you know you did it right. It goes all the way through to the other side, so to continue assembly, place your index finger on the bottom of the pivot stem right there, and then press the stem back a little way so it does not disengage the blade but leaves enough of the space to feed in the washer. I then rotate the blade into the semi-closed position and feed it through here. I then use a flat driver bit to try and push the washer in. It can be a little bit tight. I'm trying to catch it from this side, and at this point, as I was shooting the video, I realized that it's better to use the T10 side of the other bit to push it in because it's going to line up a little better. But then once you start seeing the hole protruding here, you will go back to a thinner pin, bit, or whatever you're using. You could probably even use a toothpick. You know, give it a little bit of an effort to align everything, and then the stem will pop right in as you rotate the blade. Now grab the pivot screw, place it, maybe even start it, then use the T10 bit to hand tighten it a little bit. Leave it pretty loose at this point. It just needs to hold the stem in place. Take a quick look-see to make sure that the handle didn't pop out of alignment. And now you can start putting final torque on the assembly screws, starting with the one in the very back. The reason I started in this order is because the back spacer serves as an alignment feature for keeping parallelism of the handle halves in order. If you don't torque it in this order, you are risking putting extra tension or extra looseness at the pivot. And the last one to be tightened is the stop pin screw. I check tightness on the other exposed screws and check the blade for play. The play is still present, so I am going to torque the pivot, and I have this procedure for it. I will torque it slightly too tight, so when I pull back on the crossbar, the blade doesn't drop shot. And then I'll back it off just a little bit at a time until it pops down, like so. Now I check for tightness and I find it a little loose, so I go back just a hair and make sure the knife is still functional. Notice I don't have oil, so it's still not drop shot. It's a washer equipped knife, but it functions similar to how it came from the factory, minus the blade rocking. Notice one thing though, I did not use the Loctite, and the pivot is not very strongly torqued. So I'll show you a trick that may save you time and a few bucks, and totally works. Time tested trick. So I take the pivot screw out, I set it like so on my driver, and I dipped into my wife's cosmetic drawer and stole some of her nail polish. I'm applying a tiny little drop to the screw, and believe me, at these torque values, this will function just as well as the blue Loctite. Just a little drop is necessary, not much. All we are looking for is for it to cure in the threads, and it will prevent any kind of loosening going forward. Feel free to replace that with a Loctite when you get some. I didn't have any with me, so hence the trick. You can replay the blade adjustment procedure at this point. I kind of had muscle memory of where that pivot screw was, and you know, checking the knife for function. And once you're satisfied, with how everything runs and feels, you are done. If you found this tutorial useful, don't forget to hype and like the video. I really appreciate that.